Hello and welcome to the newest episode of Mastermind Podcast. I'm Captain Jack along with Ox and Pat, and this is our first live recording on Discord.
So if you're listening on Discord right now, this is live. If you're listening to this on your podcast server like YouTube or iTunes Podcast or Google Music, Google Play, it will have been pre-recorded, just to be clear.
Yeah.
We're not live streaming, but the people that are on our Discord channel can hear us live right now.
And they can interact with us.
Yes, in real time. So we will plug in the intro music. Here we go.
Awesome. What's going on, guys?
Oh, big life changes.
Yeah?
We didn't publish it yet, but I will be publishing it soon. The Pat Got Investigated podcast over on Uncensored Tactical.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I had an internal affairs investigation done on me.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You really didn't know that?
Well, I mean, you said I heard IA a little while ago, but I thought that was something old.
Oh, man, you missed so much.
Let's do the long story short.
Yeah.
An anonymous person under a false name made a complaint to my law enforcement agency that how dare me teach the public at large things about breaking out of handcuffs and such. So the local newspaper, I say newspaper, the local mainstream media agency wrote a shocking article about me. And it was absolutely rife with just missing information, a lack of journalism. It was just garbage. I called the phone number listed as the company's owner's name, and no response. Okay, well, if you read my website, 1,000 times I say this is the best way to get a hold of me, A, B, C, and they didn't try any of those. So I don't know, it was a mess. So the agency called me and they said, hey, we did an internal investigation based on a complaint about you. Also, the media just wrote a story about you, just so you know. We had no findings that you did anything outside of policy. We just want you to know. And I said, okay, thanks. And I said, you know what? This is probably another sign that I should walk away from this job anyways. I'm not super happy. I don't have a complaint about my agency at all, and I mean that. It's not even really a complaint. The pay wasn't great, but in that job, it's not really great anywhere. So you guys knew I kind of wasn't super happy.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of objections to the way we did things or the way that things had to be done legally. So I walked away. I said, I'm resigning and hopefully in good standing. I have nothing but good things to say about how my agency treated me. And I mean that too. You guys know I complain a lot about bad leadership, a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, not at my current job. It was my supervisors. We showed up. They said, have a good shift. I had a great shift. If I needed help, I got help. They never once were like, what are you doing? Work harder. They were never once like, you're bad at doing things. Like they coached when I wanted coaching. Really happy with it. They didn't make me do traffic stops. They said, we prefer that you don't get involved in drug stuff late at night. We want you ready to help people that are in violent encounters or home burglaries. And I said, that is so me. That's perfect. So happy with all that. But the job's not for me. And I knew that I would start resenting the job. So I decided to step away. I said, I'm resigning. So now I am resigned. How did you know? Wow, that's I can't believe you didn't know that. Shocking.
Well, I mean,
He's been missing.
somewhat.
Mostly. Yes.
Well, I remember hearing something about like a newspaper article or something like that, and I was like, kind of like picking up puzzle pieces here there.
Uh-huh.
So someone linked your actual name to the work you do at UTAC.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's the funny part is, so the agency said, because he never says what agency he works for, and because he doesn't even use his real name, we can't get him on a policy violation because he's not even being himself. He's being a non-entity. And the media was like, yeah, but he owns the website, and he works for your agency.
How do they know?
Yeah,
Well, how does?
that's the funny part, right? So
Yeah.
I can count on one hand how many people knew which day job I was at and my website that was owned by me. Like less than 5 people know.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it wasn't my mom.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it wasn't my roommate.
Nope.
So someone was upset and they just cannot believe that. Oh, I think they said their 11-year-old son listens to my podcast because he's interested in law enforcement. And I was like, well, it's an explicit podcast. And we click the explicit button. So you shouldn't let your 11-year-old listen to explicit shit. That's on you. And I'm like, the other thing is we always say, call me. Like, I'm like, I'll give you my fucking phone number. You can call me, like email me, Instagram me, get on Discord. You can talk to us. And if you were that upset and your son was that horrified that he wants to be in law enforcement, and sometimes law enforcement officers say bad words and make sex jokes, I'd be happy to explain to your kid why I say bad words and why he probably shouldn't as a child. I'd be happy to do a swear word free episode just for that guy's kid, if that's a real story. And no, didn't reach out to me, didn't complain to me, didn't try to make it better, just tried to get me fired from my job, and was so upset that the public sees my content. Except now there's a news story, so more of the public sees my content. What an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, we should make some cookies in the shapes of keys and locks and send them to this person, and with a thank you note.
I go back and forth on it. I'm not sure how much action I want to take against that guy. What guy, girl, whatever.
Wait, is it anonymous, or do you know who made
the complaint to my agency was anonymous, but like I said, there's only 5 people that can draw the line between my website and my day job. So I'm pretty sure I know who it was out of those 5 people.
Okay.
It was you, Ox.
Yeah.
Right. I'm totally.
You ever notice when all these bad things happen to me, Ox is nowhere to be found?
I know,
It's
right?
like Superman.
Oh my God. I'm treading water, fellas. I'm tickled I got this upcoming week off to kind of have a little mental space, spend time with family, and it's challenging.
Yeah, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Which part?
Just up to you. Any of it?
Yeah, any of it?
Update. Well, nothing really. Just main job. Seeing patients in general psychiatry has just been pretty challenging in terms of the pace lately, and kind of moving into different conditions that people have that I'm not super familiar with. So anyway, there's kind of like stretching beyond the comfort zone, and then there's like, holy shit, I'm in the deep end of the pool, treading water, and I felt.
Well, we lost him.
Yeah, lost Ox.
There he is.
He's back.
Just gonna kind of what?
We lost you, but you're back, Ox.
Psalms.
Last thing you said was, I felt.
Yeah, just kind of like him in the deep end of the pool, treading water and struggling hard. So anyway, just taking some time off to get a little mental break and regroup and kind of consolidate everything that I've learned. And that's all.
Nice.
That's the latest.
Okay.
Jack?
Store's going well.
Oh, shit. You know what we keep forgetting to do?
Oh.
What's the first thing we should be doing every episode?
Talking about what we're drinking.
I got just the bottom of my bottle of Vikings Blood in my little cup here.
Let me shake it real quick. I've got, let's say, about 2/3 of a bottle of Vikings Blood.
Nordic honey wine. That's what it says, huh? Man, that's good.
It is. It is amazing.
Man, it's so easy to drink.
I'm drinking it straight out of the bottle tonight.
Good man. Well, you're an adult. You can do that. If you're 11, you shouldn't do that. If you're an adult, go for it.
If you're 11 and listening to this show. Jesus.
Hey, Fetch, I like this too. Fetch just said,
are they...
the podcast chat. Yeah, he said, I like this.
Good.
Oh,
I like
cool.
it too, man.
What up, Fetch? What state are you in, or what region? Can you tell us?
He's typing.
And a clever alias, and then there was somewhere else. Riga. What did I saw someone else sign in.
Seago was here momentarily.
Seago or Riga?
He might have been.
Okay.
Seago, he's still here.
New York, right on.
So what's the and a clever alias is near Ox. Cool. What's the title of this episode? You guys want to jump into that?
Kentucky-ish, right Kentucky-ish. On. I'm in Kentucky-ish.
Is this one just going to be a general update, or are we doing a specific topic tonight?
Well, I thought we were doing Uber.
Yeah.
Uber. Side hustling, because side hustling it ties into liberty, financial liberty.
Absolutely.
And then also talking about mead, which will tee us up for another episode where we talk about how to make mead. How about that?
Perfect.
That'll work.
Cool.
So let's talk about, since we're talking about liberty, let me run this by you. So getting hired by a government agency, it's public, right? It's government.
Yes.
It's accountability. It's doing background checks, all this shit, right?
Uh-huh.
You know how long it takes to get hired at a police department in my state?
No idea.
The day that you show up and you're like, I want to work here. They're like, we're hiring. You don't be
6 months.
Don't be shocked if it takes, give or take, 6 months. Right?
Right.
Yep.
Background checks, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Let's say, okay, so our buddy in New York, right? Fetch. So let's say there's a taxi guy that says, I want to be a taxi guy in New York. How long do you think that process takes to do all your paperwork, to submit it, to get hired, to be a taxi driver? To get your licensing?
2 weeks.
I'm betting
you got him in 2 weeks max.
I don't know what the answer is, but I'm betting it's a lot slower than Uber or Lyft or any of those guys. So I started Uber driving. I said, fuck it. I am unemployed. I resigned from law enforcement. Let's go make some money. So I immediately got on Uber, and within 30 minutes, I was completely signed up. They had my license, registration, my bank account info. They did a background check on me. They provided me with a copy of my background check for free, which most law enforcement agencies won't do that for you because it's a fucking secret. Okay, well, it's my background. Can I know what's in it? No, we just can't hire you because something in your background. Oh, what is it? We can't tell you. Okay. So within 30 minutes, I was on Uber, and I was able to start driving and making money. And police departments, I don't know if you know this, we spend easily tens of thousands, 20,000, sometimes $100,000 for a mapping and dispatch program for our laptops in the car, right? We need to, how do we send you to the right location? How do we know where your car's at with GPS? How do we... I downloaded an Uber app, and they do all of that for me. And it's real time, and it's really fucking accurate, and I haven't had a problem since.
Wait. So the private sector out technology, the public sector.
Yeah, write that down, because you might need to remember that sometime.
That's not possible.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's weird? The private sector doesn't force you at the point of a gun to take your money to work on their project.
Nope.
It's weird. Like, it's all voluntary. It's crazy. Good thing we have government, man. Good thing. So I started driving. I started making money.
Somewhat related. I had to go get my my Jeep registered in my new state, and I had to go down to the county tax assessor or whatever it is, and at that location, a sheriff had to inspect my vehicle. It took like 3 minutes. It cost $5 cash, but it was a uniformed sheriff with a gun and everything, gun badge and everything. And for what he did and the amount of time it took, I thought, that's like, why couldn't you get a why does it take a 40, 50, whatever $1,000 a year, law enforcement officer to inspect 30. A vehicle? I don't know. I was trying to be nice. I don't know what they make. I don't know what sheriffs make, but are you kidding me? It takes a fucking full-time salaried employee to look at vehicles for 3 minutes and go, all right, that'll be $5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's a product of
blows
bureaucracy,
my mind.
man.
Blows my mind.
Create jobs that you don't need because other people are paying for it.
On that note, so the big thing we do here is talk about liberty. I think you could also describe that as self-empowerment, just help boil it even down to empowerment. And a lot of that, a lot of the topics we like to talk about are job related or side hustle. If it's a side hustle you're trying to make into a full-time hustle. So on that note, tell us about Uber driving. Like, what made you think to get into it? And you mentioned how long it took to get rolling, but like, what made you think to get into it? And give us a little more of the step by step, because I'm sure there are people out there that want to do like a side hustle. Maybe they got a day on the weekend. Like I've got Fridays off nowadays, so. You know, maybe someone like me wants to get into it.
So last night was Sunday. Last night was Saturday night. It was St. Patty's Day. And my roommate, I was trying to get him to Uber drive. So I gave him my referral code. And we'll go ahead and put my referral code on today's, on all the sources for today's show, whether it's in the podcast description or whether it's on our website, the original article.
Yeah.
If you start Ubering, it takes like 10 seconds. You type in 10 little letters and numbers, and then you help out our show by giving me some credit, and Uber will hook me up, and it doesn't cost you anything. So, if you're gonna,
what are the requirements?
I think there's like 3 or 4. So your car has to be, I think it's somewhere around within the last 10 or 12 years old, maybe it's even 14 years old. So within this decade, roughly, it's got to have 4 doors. It can't have any wild modifications to it. It can't have like suicide doors. Like backward opening doors.
So I can't go Uber in my Lambo.
No, it can't have like I think the what's it called? The little box looking car. Honda makes it. The Element. I think that has like a backwards opening door. You can't have those.
Oh right.
And I think it can't be a pickup truck, but I think that's basically it. 4 doors. It has to seat 4 passengers with 4 seatbelts. And that's it. Then they do a little background check on you. It takes like 10 minutes. And then you upload your license, your registration, and your insurance card. You download the app, and that's it. And if you have a friend that Ubers, you type in their little reference code, and that hooks up your friend big time. And I think you might get something from that too. I'm not sure.
Nice.
So when you say background, like what do you think they're?
Well, I can tell you what they do. They gave me a copy of it. They check.
Ox, I don't know why you keep dropping out, but you drop out every time you start talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on. What do you?
So they check I think they check the federal database for arrest warrants. They check your arrest record for the county you're in and the surrounding counties. I'm sure they check your driving history to see if you have any pending issues. And mostly that's it. It's super easy.
Okay, very cool.
So. Probably really similar to a law enforcement background investigation, except faster.
They don't go interview your neighbors from when you were in elementary school or something like that.
Somebody that drives me crazy. Like, what are you going to learn from? I don't know. Never mind. Don't let me go. Don't let me go down that road.
Pull him back. Pull back.
No pun intended. So, all right. So I said, I have some money saved up. I could go. I have smartly when I was overseas in Cuba. I said, when I come back, I don't know if I like this job enough to stay with it. So just in case, let me save up a couple months worth of salary. So I do. I have a couple months worth of salary saved up. So even though Uber is my only income today and my side hustle with the website, Uncensored Tactical, which I'm teaching a course in Ohio coming up soon. Really excited. Even though this is basically my primary income now, it doesn't have to be my career because I have some savings. But if I wanted to work 12-hour days every day, I would be doing just as well as if I were in a law enforcement job.
If you were doing 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, is that what you said?
Yeah, 12 hours a day, every other day, or
every other.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, like full time.
Yeah, right now hourly, I'm getting almost as much as I was as a law enforcement officer, and I'm just so much less stressed right now. It's so fucking easy. I'm happy. I make my own hours. Don't have to ask permission.
Wow.
Don't have to ask permission to do a lunch break. I can take a day off if I want. I can adjust my hours. I don't have to call anybody. I just go, and I love it.
So the res Q in my name, that kind of came from, I had an idea to start an Uber for first responders, since we usually work 24 off, or 24 on, 48 off, or 48/72 or whatever. Everyone has a second job, so I thought, man, that'd be cool if we started an Uber, but for first responders, and that's what I was going to call it, was Rescue.
Wait, an Uber for first responders?
Yeah, for first responders.
Where people who are first responders are your drivers.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. Yeah, like locally, there's some like firefighters mover company. Like it's all fire and rescue who moves, apartments and homes and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, we're having like a little ADD thing. Seago, where are you from?
He's from New York. Oh no, Seago's not. Fetch is.
Fetch is New York. Then Clever Alias is Kentucky-ish. Where's Seago from? What part of the world? So you had the idea, okay, I'm going to check out Uber. Did it cross your mind to look into Lyft?
Yeah, a lot of my passengers have asked me that.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of Uber drivers that have the Uber and the Lyft symbol in their windows, both.
Okay.
I haven't seen a need for it yet. The longest I've ever sat without getting a ride is like 20 minutes, which is fine for me because I don't want to be 100% all the time. Like I can handle a little break here and there. But I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea if I wanted to hit a specific area, or if I wanted to drive to a certain area, and if I was wanting to be busy, I would use that. I haven't done it yet, so I'm just Uber for now. Okay.
So you had the thought, I'm going to kind of get this rolling.
Mm-hmm.
There's some sort of parameters like 4-door with, a newer-ish vehicle, background investigation. I missed it. Does it cost anything to, does it cost anything to get rolling?
Nope. I got a really thorough car wash. I bought a couple extra phone chargers for my car, and that was it, man.
Let her rip. So tell us about...
Here's the other thing. Here's something that goes with this. So
yeah,
you've heard... I think Jack Spirko might have said it. I know for a fact Gary Vee says it almost every day. If you don't like your job and you're broke, but you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're like, let me stay with this job because I'm broke, but I'm not happy. Well, you can be just as broke doing something that makes you happy. And so when people start, like when Gary Vee, I know, says that, he's like, when you start thinking of life that way, like quit your shitty fucking job and build your side business, or build your side business while you're doing your job. And then even if you don't make a ton of money, be fucking happier, right? And so that's really important here, because my car's paid off. So I'm not really chasing my tail. I'm not using my car to pay off my car, to make money, to pay off it's done. My car's paid off. So right now, it's just sitting in my driveway, and my time is free. So besides the work I do for writing the book that's coming out, or for the Ohio course prep, or the website, I really don't have hours that I'm working. I just work whenever the fuck I want. So part of making a little less money from Uber is I like this, I'm also really cutting back all my spending. So
really?
Yeah. I actually have to switch my phone to a different company soon, and I'm only going to do it if I find a cheaper bill. Even if I have to do like a minutes plan or whatever, like I'm going to lower my cell phone bill. My car's paid off. I have no debt. I have savings, money in savings. I have no credit card debt. I'm a renter, so I don't pay a mortgage. So everything I'm doing with like meal prep and like not eating out at expensive restaurants every night, like I'm simplifying my life, and I love it, right? I'm selling the old couch in the corner that I don't use. Like it makes me so happy that all I have to worry about is when I want to go make a couple bucks driving, I do it. When I want to work on the book, I do it. When I want to sleep in because I'm tired, I do it. When I want to get up early and drive, I do it. So part of me, because it's my only income, it's a lifestyle change. Like obviously I'm not rolling in the dough, but you know what? I'm also not fucking miserable every day.
Right. So you get to make your own schedule. Are there a minimum number of hours per week or per month that you're required to do to be an Uber driver?
I don't think there's any minimum at all.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Or max. I imagine there's probably not a maximum.
Sigo says, what about the benefits, Pat? Do you have to cover your own Social Security or cover that? What about medical?
I don't know about Social Security. I don't know if they'll be putting that into my W-2 at the end of the year or not for me.
Are you considered a 1099 independent contractor or an employee? Or
I don't know yet. I'm going to have to look through their website a little more.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to have to get my own coverage. But I do know that my girlfriend looked through the app for me, and she's like, there are tons of benefits. Like Uber gets special pricing for insurance. They get special pricing for phone bills. They get special pricing for like all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to look into that.
That's cool.
So take us back to your first pickup. Like you're like, all right, I'm gonna fucking get my Uber driving on.
My first couple rides were near where I live, and it was terrible.
Really? It was the first one.
The first couple were. The first guy was a smoker. I was taking him from his job to his house, and he was wearing like all black with a black beanie, and he had a cigarette in his hand and a black backpack, and it was nighttime, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to fight this guy. And so he gets in, he's like, and he was really nice. It was really cool. He smelled like cigarettes, but he was really nice. He's like, what's up, man? I'm like, hey. He's like, how do you like Ubering? And I'm like, I fucking love it. He's like, oh, how long you been doing this? I'm like, oh, not too long, like, a couple minutes. He's like, no, not today, like ever. I'm like, yeah, a couple minutes. And he's like, oh, cool. But it was fine. I haven't had any big problems.
So your first ride was a vampire?
Vampire, yeah.
Or a fucking Dungeons and Dragon.
Yeah.
Hey, don't knock on that.
Don't knock on it.
I'm a big time geek too. Not Dungeons and Dragons, but me and Jack were talking earlier.
So it went okay. You survived.
Yeah, and for the most part, it's just back to back trips. So I'm driving around. I got my little app open, and it's just a map. And then something pops up on my screen. It says, "Do you want this ride?" It's like 5 minutes from you, and I go, "Yep." So it automatically navigates me to the person. I go, "Hey, are you this person?" They go, "Yep." "Are you an Uber driver?" And I go, "Yep." And they get in, and I click destination, and the map directs me to the destination. And I drop the person off, and they don't pay me. I don't pay them. There's no money. They go, "Thanks," and they get out, and I click end ride. And then a new ride pops up. They go, "Do you want another ride?" I go, "Yep." I drive to the new one and fucking repeat all night.
That's fantastic.
So you have
so easy.
Does it pop up on your phone, or does it pop up on like a little Uber tablet or something?
You just open the app in your phone, dude. And
the phone. Okay.
Yeah, I just mounted my phone. I'm on one of my air vents with a little mount.
Okay. Yeah.
So easy.
Very cool.
That was one of my big complaints. I'm probably going to do a couple more. I'm definitely going to do a couple more podcasts on it on UTech. One of my big complaints was just the shitty systems that law enforcement has to use. Like, we had a map system. You might have heard me say this before. We had a laptop. It was touchscreen, and we had a map system that would show you where all your calls are and where all your friends are, your coworker, law enforcement officers. So I'd click zoom in on my screen, and the whole screen would go white, and then all the gray area would populate, which is the land, and all the green area would populate, that's the forest. Like, and it would take this long. All the blue area would populate, that's water. All the red would be like special roads, and all the blue was regular, like dark blue is roads, and then dark black is roads, and you can't really see the road names because you have to zoom in super far, but some names are in the way. And then I'm like, well, that's not the area I need. I need to scroll left a little bit. So on the phone, like on your iPhone, you just scroll left, new map populates. Well, on my work computer, I scroll left, the whole screen goes white. It auto repopulates all the way from the beginning. Let's add the water. Let's add the trees. Let's add the forests. Let's add the land. Let's add the parks. Let's add some highways. Let's add some streets. Let's add some street names. And I'm like, that's way too long. I'm hauling ass with my light and sirens trying to save someone's life. And I got to deal with this bullshit. So what I did as a cop is I mounted an iPad, and I had 4G when 4G was big. I have 4G service on my iPad so that when my laptop internet crashed within my car, I still had service. So I could still go to calls. I went that extra step to help people. So I'd get the address from my computer. I'd plug it into my iPad. I'd hit go. And it was so much. I was like, I need to zoom out to outer space. Pinch. Oh, I'm there. I need to zoom in to see what kind of car is in our driveway. Zoom in. Oh, it's there. And it's just shocking. I go back to my work laptop, and I'm like, zoom in. Satellite view. Oh, no, can't do that. Waiting. And I'm like, this is not going to work. So Uber fixes all that. They are not a government job, which I really like.
Fetch wants to know, was Ed Manifesto's class to prepare you for your new career as an Uber driver?
Did you do a... go ahead.
I learned a couple cool tricks in Ed's class. I really liked it. Hopefully, he's coming on Uncensored Tactical soon. I hit him up on Instagram yesterday about an interview. He's like, yes, I forgot. Sorry, let's do it. So we'll have him on to answer that.
Did you do a course review on UTAC? Like how was the course and all that?
Oh fuck!
Are you waiting for him?
I don't think I did. We could do that tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah,
that make me happy. Yeah, I didn't do that
maybe.
Yet.
So you got your new. Okay, we talked about your first couple rides. Are you more like downtown or kind of in neighborhoods, or?
I drive in a pretty big downtown area, usually. Okay. I usually drive in a pretty big downtown area, and it's great, man. It's just call to call to call, and I love it.
And is it kind of just busy all times of the day, or is it mainly in the evening when people are out partying on the weekends and shit?
I've done about 7 different trips now, or 7 different shifts, and I'm experimenting. Okay. Like I'm going north of my house, south of my house. I'm trying to stay close to kind of save on gas, but for the most part, like there's a pretty big area that's about a 45-minute drive from me. And it's like a big downtown urban area. And there's a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, and the parking sucks. And a lot of people live in like high rises or big apartment buildings. So it's designed for people to kind of walk everywhere, and driving's kind of a hassle. So it's just the perfect fit, man. The problem is I drive 45 minutes to get there. So I burn all that gas on that time, and then I start making up for it.
Okay.
But it's a sure thing. Like it's a guaranteed good night.
Well, have you started? So the question is, have you started coming up with a specific game plan or like tactics? And the background is, I've heard some people say that, everyone wants to drive on the weekend, especially in the late at night when everybody's at the bar and the pub and all that shit. So there's quite a bit of Uber and Lyft drivers out. So the better times are, at other points in the week when there are less drivers, there might be a little bit less need, but you're competing with fewer drivers. Are you starting to see any patterns in that regard?
Yeah, I'm starting to see patterns. Definitely like Thursday, Friday, Saturday night are big winners. And it's not cutthroat. It's not like there's too many cars here. Like if I zoom in on the map and I open my ride request app, I can see where all the Uber cars are. So I can see where all the other Uber drivers are at. And even if there's even if it's like a beehive of Uber cars, it doesn't matter. I wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most, and then I get a ride. And the cool thing is that you can accept new rides before your ride is over.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So a lot of times I'll be on a ride and I'm like, all right, I'm going to drop you guys off. And 2 minutes up ahead, and something pops up on my screen, says new ride near your arrival. Do you want to tack this one on? I'm like, yep. So as soon as they get out of my car, I'm driving to the next one, which is good. And usually the big city driving is like that.
Interesting.
So you can see what the other Uber drivers are and eliminate the competition.
Yeah, see if I can. Maybe I can borrow one of my friend's stop sticks.
There you go.
So you're wrapping up your ride, and I'm about 3 minutes from my destination, and another opportunity pops up that shows you can tell how far away you are from the new. Okay, cool. Wow, very cool. So let's talk about the financials of it, and the background. I heard Brother Vin on his podcast.
Waiting for Ox to come back.
He didn't leave.
I think I know what he was going to say. He said Vin made a comment recently about crunching the numbers for Uber and ending up not making as much money as you think because of all the costs for wear and tear on your car and for gas and all that stuff.
Oh, right.
Let me answer Fetch's question real quick. Did I need to register my car with the DMV a different way? No, not in my state. I did not. There are some insurance issues. Uber will cover your car with certain types of insurance when you're doing certain things for the app. But there's also some gaps in that where your personal insurance doesn't cover you and Uber only covers partial. So there's some things you have to know about with your insurance. So Ox was saying that Vin Armani made a comment. I didn't hear Vin say it, but I heard Ox tell me about it earlier. About crunching the numbers and you not making as much money as you think. I totally get that because I don't know how much the government is going to try and fuck me at the end of the year when tax season comes around again. So people that, if you get on the app and you're like, hey, I made $200 tonight. That's mine. Well, I wish it was yours. It's not. So be aware that, like, just to be safe, I'm putting 30% of all my Uber earnings away, and I'm not touching them.
Oh, there we go.
All right, he's back.
Shit. All right. I don't even remember what I asked. Yeah, so the numbers. Did you already give an explanation? I just missed it.
Just wrap that one up.
Some bitch. Okay, well.
Sigo says, shall we start a pool to bet how long it takes for some young lady to pay for the ride, but offer to pay with other currencies?
I don't think he means cryptocurrencies for some reason.
I think he means the good old-fashioned barter system, right?
Yep, that's exactly what he means.
And my response is that my girlfriend is really good to me, so no, not worth it in the least.
I like that emergency locksmith. You can hand him a business card that says Uber driver / tactical lockpicking. I'll open your car if you lock your keys.
Yeah, who was it the other day? They said I should talk about my services. Like, oh, I teach people how to break out of trunks. Well, other people's trunk. I mean, not my trunk.
So what was the skinny version of what I missed? What is it?
Crunching the numbers. Vin Armani.
Yeah.
He said you don't make as much money as you think because of costs.
Yeah, there's something out there, either like a study or just an article. When you add up all the costs to drive as a Uber, Lyft, whatever, that it comes out to, I don't know, maybe a few bucks an hour. But the way you described it doesn't sound to be the case for you. Like $25 in gas for a shift.
My gas to earning ratio is really good. It's probably even a little less than 20% of my earnings for the night. But here's the thing, like with that long drive going into and out of the zone that I like to drive, that hurts a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it also depends on how busy the night is. Yeah, it's probably just under 20%. So yeah, I'm definitely not making as much as I think because some of that goes back into gas and some of that is definitely going to be taxes. But like I said, the good news is I'm so much fucking happier. And on top of that, I'm not maintaining my current lifestyle. I'm cutting everything way back.
Right.
Which a lot of people do that. They take other jobs or they take they don't take a promotion at work or they switch to a different job but take less salary to be happier. So yeah, I love it, dude. I'm so happy.
Love it. Oh yeah.
But what is the value of the work you're getting done for yourself?
The work I'm getting done for myself while I'm waiting on a call or ride. I bring my phone and my computer and my iPad all sync up their notes. So I'm working on the book that I'm hopefully going to have out very soon. I take notes here and there. I get to watch documentaries on other people's work. I get to stay up to speed with podcasting, which I love, as long as I'm not on a call. I don't want people hearing my weird, creepy podcasts I listen to. A clever alias. He says some people try to take the 55 cents per mile as a tax deduction, so it's actually a phantom loss. That's a good point. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting a tax attorney this year instead of fucking TurboTax. I'll be claiming all sorts of gas and mileage and fucking everything.
So you're doing this probably closer to more of a full-time thing.
Yeah.
Do you think someone out there who's like, you know what, dude, I've got 4 hours on a Friday with my wife or my husband or whatever. I've just got like, say, a 4-hour block of time and I want to go out and earn an extra $10-20 an hour net. Like, could this be for that type of person?
100%. My roommate last night was like, he's like, I sit at home a lot. He's like, I don't got a lot going on Friday night. He's like, I'd love to go out and meet more people. He's like, but I sit at home. And I'm like, dude, I've been Uber driving for a week. I met all sorts of fucking people, and I'm getting paid. I'm like, instead of playing fucking PlayStation for 4 hours, I drove for 3, and I made like $60-80 doing it. And he's like, yeah, I should do it. And so within 30 minutes, he was signed up. He had his car washed. He had been approved by Uber. They did a background check. He sent in his registration, insurance, all that stuff. And he went out that same night, and it was St. Patty's Day, and he made, let's see, how many hours did he work? He went out around 10-ish, came home around 3-ish, and ended up making like close to $200.
Dang, dude. Wish I had a newer vehicle. I might pick up a couple hours here or there.
I know, me too.
And my car's like, what's that?
Pat.
Yeah.
I use Mile IQ for my tracking my mileage. You might want to check on that.
Okay.
What did you say?
Mile IQ. It's an app.
Cool.
It tracks my mileage for when I have to go pick up milk a couple of cities away or whatever. And
for work.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Very cool. So maybe any other additional thoughts, Pat? Getting rolling. What people can make per hour. What's the range that you're seeing or hearing people making per hour after expenses? You got any numbers?
I don't have a lot of numbers. All I can tell you is I've worked less than 8 hours every night that I went out, and I made more than $100 each time.
Okay.
So I'm working like five hours, maybe 6 hours, maybe making 120. Sometimes if I do a short night, I'm making like $80. But like I said, my living expenses are very low. I don't have a car payment. I'm not in debt. I got no kids that I know of. Thank God.
That you know.
So I don't need the huge income, and I'm super happy. And it's allowing me to spend a ton of time working on the website, working on articles, reviewing shit, planning, getting a bunch of shit ready for this Ohio course I'm teaching. So it allows me to continue my other side hustle and make some money there and spend a lot of quality time on it. So it's a fucking win-win for me. I would, and I'm not, it's not magic pixie dust. I'm not saying you should quit your job and do this full time. That's not what I'm saying. Probably not a good idea if you have a good income.
No, it's a good idea. Do it.
No, right. Bye, everybody. So, crap, I forgot what I was going to say. I got distracted by this picture of this Viking Blod thing. So, the tipping. That's what I was going to say. So sometimes people tip you cash directly, but everything else is just all handled by Uber, like no money is exchanged. That's kind of an interesting concept in itself. But so sometimes people give you cash, and sometimes they tip you through the Uber app. Very cool.
And I had a lady, really nice lady, the other day. She's like, here's a couple dollars. She's an older lady. She's real sweet. And we mentioned like once or twice back and forth. I was like, yeah, I left the military, and I do this now. I don't tell a lot of my riders that I was a cop because I'm sure a lot of my riders have been arrested. So
be like, here's
yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I just got out of the military recently, which is the truth. And I'm like, I just do this now full time. And she's like, I made a complaint like, yeah, the military really wasn't for me. It was kind of a rat race, and it was all rank based, and I didn't have a lot of autonomy on how I did my job, and I'm just really happy now. So at the end of the ride, she's like, here's a couple dollars, and she's like, and you know what? The nice thing about that is Uncle Sam doesn't need to know about it. And I'm like,
oh, love it.
I'm like, I love you. I'm like, I'm gonna look for you next time. Try and get in your area.
That's awesome.
So tips. Do people tip consistently, or is there any kind of rhyme or reason to that part?
Not that I found out yet. No rhyme or reason.
Okay. Interesting. Well, maybe now's the time to. So, an acquaintance of ours, I saw him post. He is an Uber Lyft driver in a different state, and he posted that he bought 3 items, cost him $12, and these 3 items increased his tips 800%, approximately 800%. So I'll read it off to you. So one of them is a front window sticker or sign that says, well, in his case, he drives for both Uber and Lyft. So it's a front window sign. That's one of the 3. And the second one is a sign that goes on the back of the headrest. And it says, I'm going to upload it here in a sec, but it says, please rate me. It's got a little 5-star thing. It's got his name, and it says, tips are not required, but is greatly appreciated. So it's kind of right in the driver's face. And the third thing is
Ox, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know about everyone else, but I just heard like 30 seconds of just beeps and boops of your voice. So maybe you want to type it up and we'll read it because we got nothing.
Yeah, do that.
Type it up and we'll read it to everybody.
Okay, well. Anyway, yeah, go ahead. You guys go ahead. I'll just type it up. What the fuck is going on?
I think he said go ahead and he'll just type it up.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man. That's real bad, Ox.
Do it. Do what?
Yeah, we can't understand you at all.
Oh, what the fuck?
I know earlier you said something about having a spare or a couple of spare phone chargers in the back for people to charge their phones while they're riding.
Yeah, that was one. He said something about a placard on the headrest that says something.
Is this any better?
Yeah.
Much better. And for the comments from the guys, we got Fetch and A Clever Alias, and so you go all in on this one. Yeah, there's a couple Reddit comments.
Oh, God, don't get him going on Narcan.
I fucking love Reddit. Who's talking about Narcan?
Yeah. Who's that?
No. How much will you get tipped if you carry Narcan to save your ODing riders?
All right, let me have another go at it, and you guys let me know if I cut out. So an acquaintance of ours, he is a driver for Uber and Lyft, different state in the Northwest, and he says he spent $12 on 3 items, and these 3 items increased his tips by about 800%. So one of them is just a front window sticker or sign that says Uber and Lyft. So that's on the front windshield. Second item is a sign that goes on the back of the headrest, and I'll upload it in a sec, but it says basically like, please rate me if you enjoy the ride. Then it's got his name, and it's got a little thing that says tips are not required, but greatly appreciated. So that's the second item, kind of right in the rider's face. And then the third item is a multi-head charging cord. It'll charge, I don't know, maybe 99% of cell phones out there. So the passenger can charge, their iPhone or, Android, whatever, while they're driving around. So those 3 items cost him about $12 and increased his tips about 800%. So thought that was kind of a cool little 3 pro tips.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Let's see if I can get this. The end.
The text is a little distracting.
Good, yeah.
All right. Well, any other?
Okay, so I uploaded this.
Any other big questions?
I just finished my Vikings Blod, and I'm a little upset about it.
Yeah, me too. I'm empty.
Oh, you did? Running on E. So we talked about getting into it, which sounds like a very, very, very low barrier to entry. It certainly doesn't sound like it really costs anything out of pocket. Just got to go through a few hoops, which are pretty easy. You can kind of set your own schedule. It's a pretty darn good hourly. We threw out 3 tips to increase tips. 3 pro tips to increase your tips. Anything else, Pat?
Nope. I'm pretty happy, man. I'd be happy to do like maybe a 30-day update and see if anything's changed.
Yeah,
I'll do a
that'd be
little
cool.
research about what other services they provide and some other insider info.
Clever Alias says add a TQ or tourniquet and a defibrillator.
I do carry a tourniquet. I wouldn't say it's for my riders, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't use it on them if the situation was right.
Right. Defibrillators are expensive.
Have you one more? I guess this is more of a curiosity. So I have heard that there are very entrepreneurial Uber and Lyft drivers that they get into it less about making, their hourly wage, but more because it puts them in a sort of forced situation with their guests, with the rider, so that they can pitch something else. Like there's this one dude who I think he sells jewelry, is like the main thing, but he drives Uber and Lyft because, like I said, it puts him in a situation where he's sort of forced interaction between him and the guest. Do you know of any like thou shalt not do stuff like that from Uber, or do you see any possibilities? Have you heard of anything?
That'd piss me off.
What?
That would piss me off. If I got in someone's car and they were trying, man, they'd get such a bad review from me.
You cut out.
Be like this.
You cut out, Jack. If they were trying to pitch something for you?
Yeah, if I got into their car to go somewhere and they were trying to sell me, man, that would piss me off.
You're like, this fool tried to sell me a fucking some.
No, like here's the thing. If I got someone that was like a military kid and he's like, oh, I got a big deployment coming up, and I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, well, what else do you do besides Uber? And I'm like, well, I do some writing. And he's like, oh, what do you write? And I'm like, well, I write about military and law enforcement stuff. And he's like, oh, no shit. And he's like, tell me more. I'm like, well, I do articles and how-tos on urban survival and how to break out of handcuffs and shit. And if he's like, that sounds fucking awesome, I'll be like, here's my card. I'd be happy to teach you some shit. Like that's cool. But if it's like a family of four and they're like, we're going to Chili's, and I'm like, hey, did I tell you I have a book coming out? They're gonna be like, no.
How often? Oh, one more thing about the numbers. How often do they pay their drivers? Is it like weekly, monthly?
Two answers. When I signed up on the app, they said we will pay you every Wednesday what your total weekly earnings are. They also said if you want to do an immediate cash out at any point, you can add a debit card and you click a button and all that shit goes right onto your debit card.
Immediately, is that what you said?
Yeah, immediately. So I don't.
Oh, interesting.
I don't need the immediate money. I'm fine with having like a budget, like a weekly budget. So maybe a weekly goal to hit. I'm trying to hit nightly goals, but I'm still experimenting in different areas and at different times. So it's not a huge deal for me. I have the ability to not be in a rush to, like, I'm not hunting every dollar. So I'm fine.
Is there anything?
What's that?
Is there anything you could do differently that might? You said hunting every dollar. Is there?
Yeah, like I turn down rides sometimes. Like if I'm heading home and there's still people pinging me for rides, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of tired. I'm not gonna push it. I'm going home. Or if I'm about to go over like a big highway stretch or a big bridge, and someone requests a ride behind me, and they're like, drive 2 miles forward, make a U-turn, drive 6 miles back. I'm like, no, I'd rather just get to where I'm going and then turn the app on. So like I cancel rides a lot.
Okay.
So I'm not hunting. Like I'm not like I need a ride right now, and I'm also I have the ability to like try. Is the beach better today on this day of the week or at this time? Is it better to start by my house and then work somewhere else, or like so? Still the experiment phase.
You've got spring break coming up.
It's spring break right now, so I'm staying pretty busy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. Let us know how if you are able to incorporate those 3 tips and how much it increases your tips at all.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Like for $12, $10, $12, $15.
Yeah, I have chargers in my car. It'd probably be better if I plugged them in and left the cords visible. And when people got in, I was like, hey, by the way, you can do this. Like that might help.
Yep.
Yeah, well, if you see in the picture, Brian has the cords hanging over the headrest to where the I almost said patient, to where the rider is. You can see it in the pic. So it's kind of dangling in their face. The end.
Ox likes things that dangle in his face.
If their girlfriend, never mind. Never mind.
Well,
so mead. Let's talk about mead. You sent us some Viking blood mead. Tell us about that.
Well, I've been sending you guys, not through the U.S. mail, of course. I've been figuring out a way to get you guys gift certificates, right? To go get yourself some mead locally.
Yes.
It's called Vikings Blood.
Yes.
There's two bottles. There's a black bottle and a white bottle. The black one is called Vikings Blood. The white one is called some weird Nordic name wine, but they're really similar. I would love to have an affiliate account with Vikings Blood, but I don't yet. And I promise you when I do, I'll let you know. It's good stuff. It really is.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend and I have been wanting to do a side project to kind of make our own mead. We will be doing that in a future show with some video, photos, and a full podcast on it. Multiple parts. The stuff I sent you guys. You tell me. What do you think, Jack?
Oh, it was amazing.
Your whole bottle's gone?
Yeah, it's gone. And I'm keeping the bottle.
Yeah, they're really nice bottles. I think they're like ceramic.
Yeah, it's heavy, man.
What is the? Yeah, it is. What is the alcohol content on this? Because it's really tasty.
19%.
It's got just kind of it just tastes like honey alcohol.
Yeah,
I wasn't really expecting. I don't know how to.
I just drank 2/3 of a bottle and I'm slightly buzzed. That's about it.
It might hit later.
I drank about.
It's high. I don't know if you heard him, Mox. He said it's 19%.
Yeah, I see that. Clever A-list. I took 2/3 of a shot and I'm like, I'm good.
Dude, I drink it on ice. I can't stop. I might as well.
Oh, on ice, yeah.
When I buy a bottle, I know it's like a 1 night, 2 night deal at tops.
Yeah.
I'm working on my shot my shot glass since earlier this evening. I'm just sipping it. So mead is we kind of touched on it in an episode with was it Jake Robinson? We touched on it before.
Yeah. It was Jake Robinson because we were talking about coffee pot mead.
Okay, right. So it's a fermented alcoholic beverage with honey. What else, guys? The yeast, honey, yeast.
This has hops.
So this one has hops?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we save the how-to for next round.
The white bottle of the Vikings Blood, the one that's similar to Vikings Blood, is I think just hops. It's Nordic honey wine with hops in it. The black one, the Vikings Blood, is actually hibiscus and hops are added. It's a little sweeter, and I like that one a little better.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is. I could probably this is one of those like it's so tasty you're like you forget it's alcoholic, so it could sneak up on you, that sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 bottles.
This is too good to be alcoholic. So what I'm interested in terms of making mead at home, number one, it's easy, but number two, I'm very interested lately in that idea of I know it's been called an insurgency fund, the freedom fund, the liberty fund, but what we learned from Nicole Sauce, where if you can barter or make your own, say a bottle of mead that you would get at the store is, I don't know, $10, if you can make it at home for next to nothing, you save the $10 that you would spend at the grocery store, but then you didn't have to earn, say, 12 or 13 or maybe even $14 to buy that $10 bottle of meat.
Yeah,
I'm very interested in that way, keeping money in your pocket. So that's what I'm most excited about when we get into talking about how to make meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus the liquor tax, because, the government earns that money on they earned it rightfully on every bottle of liquor sold.
Hey, man, you signed that contract. Don't complain.
Oh, that's right. Oh, God, don't. That's going to be a whole nother hour talk. Don't get me started on that.
On what?
Taxes.
Oh, taxes?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. My wife handles all of that stuff because I get so pissed off. I don't know what I'm going to do if we ever get audited. Like, fuck, man. I won't be able to sit in the same room.
Yeah.
I just won't.
There were only 2 times I cried in my adult life as an adult male. Once was in a VA hospital when I was still on active duty, and I got treated very, very poorly, and no one gave a shit about me. And I thought, great, this is what I have to look forward to? Awesome. The second time was I was sitting in the tax office, and I didn't have health insurance because I didn't have enough money to pay rent. I had just gotten out of the service. And they said, okay, well, we're going to charge you extra money because you don't have health insurance this year. And even if you get health insurance today, we're also going to charge you again next year because you didn't have it this year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you motherfuckers. And if I would have accidentally bumped into a congressman on the street between there and home, I would have fucking shot him.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
No, that's how mad I get. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
It is theft.
Well, that's almost a standalone. I mean, that is really a standalone episode. Just the extractive of different empires. And when they start to get extractive in terms of take, and almost like a mining operation of everybody. Oh my God. Instead of a farming operation, like, hey, everybody, let's save, let's produce things. But this extractive, oh man, that's a standalone.
I can't. Next topic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We'll save that. Put that
I'd be happy to do it with a full bottle of Vikings Blood.
Okay, so back to the mead. How do we store it? Because unlike you fellas, you professionals, I still have almost the entire bottle. So do I store it cold or just cork it and then move on? Or
you send it to me and I'll take care of it.
I will put it in my prepper pantry. Fair enough.
Keep it in the fridge.
Yeah, I keep mine in the fridge. Cool.
Yeah.
A milking operation for sure. It really is.
Someone read that.
Seago, that's hilarious.
Seago wrote new podcast content. We
Contest.
put a BP contest. We put a BP machine on Pat and see who gets the highest BP reading out of him.
That's hilarious.
We talk about taxes. I don't think Pat can beat me.
Dude, I gotta tell you.
Oh, really?
So that's the number one biggest fucking thing about my driving. So happy every night. Even the people that are like kind of obnoxious, I get them in my car, I take them where they're going, they get out. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, I don't hate myself. I'm not bitching about the bureaucracy. I'm like, oh, new ride, click, done. Like it's not like, oh, 911 call? What's the caller say? I don't know. There's 6 people between me and the caller. Why can't they just talk to me? I don't know. Oh, dispatcher spelled some words wrong. Oh, got sent to the wrong address. Oh, my partner said he's on the way, but he's really 30 minutes away, and he's not showing up on the map. I don't know where he is. Like, I don't have any of those problems anymore.
Right.
Brilliant.
All night I'm happy. If I want to stop and get a coffee, I stop and get a coffee. I'm like, take me off the screen. You guys trying to get me riled up. You guys are assholes.
Someone taking a piss. Sorry. Maybe that was me.
That was
but
you.
I wasn't taking a piss. I was just turning on the...
I like this one. I really, really like this format. I just think we should be a
little... I do too.
With more practice, I think we'll get better. But I think the audience that's not with us live is going to be a little confused sometimes. So maybe we get better at reading the comments that we're responding to or laughing at.
Or everyone just needs to join the Discord server.
Exactly.
And they can chat with us while we're...
Good
exactly.
pitch.
I really like this. This is funny. I mean,
love
this is
it.
Funny and fun to like see some of these comments come in, and we can kind of touch on things in the moment. I really like this.
All right, guys.
Let's put a bow on it.
Yeah.
Siggo, Fetch, and a clever alias. What would you guys like us to talk about?
Like now or in the future, or both?
Right now.
I'm excited. Here we go. Typing.
Yeah. Someone's gonna.
Put us on the spot.
So Siggo wrote, I don't think you can do this format for the podcast all the time. Often is fine, but new people will be lost. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes.
But maybe with a little more practice, we can get a little better at it and people won't be lost.
Yeah, well, I mean, think of our first episode or two when, we were kind of dialing in the name and
right.
Yeah, the audio, and
we didn't know who was supposed to talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Awkward silences.
Yeah.
Can Pat explain why the enlisted guys are so dumb and can't execute simple plans? Former officer asking. Oh, wait, are we not doing the BP contest yet? Never mind. Yeah, no, let me be clear. Rank equals morals and values, right? I think is how it works.
Yeah.
So if you're a higher rank, you're a better person and you're more of a hero. Like here's one. If you wear a badge, you're automatically a hero.
Yeah.
If you're like, hey, let's go fuck with people that don't deserve it, and you pull someone over and you get shot, automatic hero. That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
Shocking content. I got a question for the people that are checking us out on Discord. So, have you guys had a chance to see my article? Did I get you guys that link yet for my scathing review written by my local newspaper?
Hell, I haven't.
You haven't? All right, we'll get it on here.
I don't think so.
You guys do some filler. Let me do a quick Google.
Siggo saw it. Everyone else is typing.
We'll make sure we put in the title of this show Uber and Discord live chat.
Yeah. Oh, Jack, has anybody? Well, maybe this is for everyone. Has like Gary Vaynerchuk or anybody, big brand, big name influencer been talking about Discord?
No.
I heard Gary V today talking about Twitch.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. But he hasn't said anything about Discord.
Okay.
I don't know if he knows yet. I thought about
shocking. Go ahead.
About getting our Discord up a little bit bigger and then inviting him to check it out. Yeah, Twitch is kind of like YouTube Live, but we're gonna have live Twitch stuff going on as well for the Insurgency Knitting Circle Discord.
Sweet guys, I'm about cashed out here. I got some to-do list items here at home, and I gotta make some more progress on this book. Really, really excited.
Right,
really
me too. Oh, hey, maybe on that note, we could tie a bow on it with. Could you tell us about the Ohio course?
Yes.
If you haven't done that for everybody yet.
Yes. It's a private course, not because it's for special people only, but because it's at a private person's residence. It's going to be, I believe it's an 8-person course, which is right around my sweet spot. I like to teach like a class of 8 to 12 is my preferred option. And from what I've been putting together, unless they have any special requests for me, it's going to be about maybe 50% lock opening techniques for door locks, padlocks, the 3 main common types of locks, some automobile entries, and then the other half of it is going to be proper restraint application and restraint escapes from things like handcuffs, flex cuffs, and some other options, which I think is going to be really cool.
So this is, you're doing this with Masada Yu?
I believe he's going to be teaching there the day before me, if I got it right.
Okay.
And this is actually one of our Discord followers that hooked it up and put this class together.
Shit. Oh, right on. So it's not open for...
It's not open? It's not that it's not open enrollment. Like I said, it's not like this is only law enforcement or only military or only... Like it's just that a private person asked me to come teach, so I'm teaching. And they put the class,
that's dope.
They requested their class members. So
remind me the date.
It's going to be in the end of May. I think it's Memorial Day weekend. I'm not sure.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, it was only a few hours away from me. Maybe I could drive up and see you or something like that. So, okay, Saturday, May 25th or so. Very cool.
Yep.
Cool. Well, needless to say, we'd love to hear how that goes. I'm sure the audience would love to as well.
All right. If you're in the Ohio area, I just got a comment. The person putting on the course told me that if you're still interested in going to that course, we can talk about some options for that, even if you're not part of their private group. So shoot me an email at uncensoredtactical@gmail.com or use our contact form on the website. And if you're a journalist, let me make that really easy for you. The best way to get in touch with me is not some weird phone number you found on the internet on a search engine. Just go to my website, click the contact tab, and an email will shoot right to my inbox, and I can reply within the hour. Or you can hit me on an instant message on Instagram. I'm on that several times a day. Or come on Discord. I'm on that 24/7. All options for you.
Very cool. Well, Pat, thanks for getting us up to speed on Uber driving and kind of sharing your experiences. I look forward to, a month or two or whatever it is from now, kind of getting an update and seeing what strategies and tactics you found, maybe bump up your tips and bump up your hourly and all that sort of stuff. So, man, thanks for sharing that.
Happy to. Oh, and don't forget, if you're going to do Uber, I don't care if you do Uber or Lyft, but if you want to give me a little bit of support, I'm going to put my my referral code on today's article. So if you want to do it, I don't recommend you quit your day job until you try it, but go ahead and type my referral code in. That would be a huge help to me, and it doesn't cost you any money.
Side hustle.
Dude, quit what you're doing, go buy a brand new car, and just drive.
And Pat, thanks for sending the wine. I appreciate that. It was nice to break it open and sip it along with everybody. And in a future episode, probably the next episode, we will discuss mead making.
Mead and maybe some more taxes because we'll be drunk. It'll be a little easier on the old ticker.
Well, this has been fun, man, especially all this interaction and getting people to chime in. So, yeah, like Jack said, get on Discord. So when we're doing these episodes in the future, you can join in live and joke with us and send questions and we can address them.
And the best way to get more info is going to be on the original article at libertymastermindpodcast.com. We will have tons of links for our Discord server and all sorts of photos and videos and extra content.
Yep. Have a good one.